How hard is it to get a date in Japan? How much of your hard-earned depreciated yen do you have to throw away into terrible apps literally to waste hours of your life swiping on anonymous profiles with pictures full of ramen, cake, and cats? Hi, my name is Ethan, and this month I am conducting an experiment. I am testing all of the major dating apps here in Japan. So I moved here about 5 months ago, and the question I'm literally asked all the time by my friends and family are, where's your girlfriend? When are you gonna introduce us to your girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? Well, unfortunately, life is not like the protagonist of a harem anime. But I digress. Recently, I've been looking at the experiences of people from YouTube and Reddit, and I've heard it's great, but I've also heard it's horrible. So it's a pretty mixed bag, just like anywhere else, I guess. And the general consensus for dating apps for the average dude is that, dating apps suck. So this month, I'm going to be conducting the experiment to see what the experience for the average guy is like on dating apps here in Japan.
24 hours later.
The 8 apps that I'll be using this month are Tinder, Pairs, Bumble, With, Tapuru, Omiai, OkCupid, and Dine. With Tinder, I honestly don't know if anyone really uses this app for lasting relationships. My impression has always been it's like for casual hookups, when you look on the Japanese app itself, it kind of feels like there's just hostesses, prostitutes, and like bots. But I'm trying to be open-minded, so I will be using that. With Pairs is the most well-known dating app, I think, in Japan among Japanese people. You definitely need Japanese ability to even sign up. Bumble is what I have heard is the best for foreigners in Japan. There's a lot of Japanese people using it, but there's also foreigners using it, so you get a mix of everyone. The next 3, honestly, I'd never heard of them up until making this video. So we have Omiai, With, and Tapuru. So these 3 I don't know much about, but my assumption is that they're just, from looking at it after making the accounts, is that they're pretty much the same as Pairs. Maybe it'll be better, maybe it won't. I have no idea. Omiai kind of looked like it had older people. OkCupid, honestly, I just chose because I needed 8. I wanted to have 8 apps. And the last one is Dine. Dine is kind of a different concept. Dine, you basically pick a person to go to dinner with, and they accept the invitation or reject it. So I guess it just kind of, you don't have to like have any conversation before you can just kind of agree to go somewhere and start talking there, which honestly sounds nice, but who knows if it really works. Let's take a look at the different apps and see what has happened. We'll start with Tinder. So, not a single like. Alright, we'll move on to Bumble. Bumble is also the same. That is sad. Yeah, so, these are not unexpected outcomes. Got OkCupid. We'll see what is going on here. So we have some likes, 15. Now, all these people, they don't look like they're actually from Japan, which is concerning. So we have someone from the Philippines. She's looking for a Japanese guy. Don't message me if you're not Japanese. Well, I'm not Japanese. Okay, well, this is bad. I don't know if I tried going into, you can't film on Japanese. Apps, unfortunately, maybe you can here. No? Okay. Well, let's try this one. Dine, okay, so you can go on Dine at least. Also have no matches, Over
1 month later.
So, it has been 30 days, and I'm just gonna dive straight into results. So for the past month, I have recorded how many likes I had, how many matches I got, how many actual conversations I had, how many times I asked to go on a date, and then how many dates I actually had. I should preface that I used the paid version of all of these apps. Yeah, it cost a total of $280.
You serious?
I wish I was joking. I mean, I could have literally bought new shoes. I could have bought literally anything would have been better than these dating apps, to be honest. Which is probably foreshadowing my results here. The reason I mentioned this is because since I had the paid version, you could see all of the likes that you got. You know, basically the likes that I recorded were the people that I ended up not matching with, decided not to match. So one other thing I should mention real quickly is that I didn't record the amount of actual times I liked profiles on a certain app. This is because I was mentally drained. I was brain dead by the time I finished this experiment. So yeah, and that could have affected the results. So on Tapple, I got 2 likes, 1 match, and I got 1 conversation. On Omiai, I had 2 likes, 3 matches, and 2 conversations. With With, I had 1 like, 7 matches, 5 conversations, and I asked 2 people to go on dates, which resulted in being ghosted. On Tinder Platinum, I should mention, I had 4 likes, and then I had 14 matches, and almost every single one looked like a scammer. Bumble, I got 4 likes, and I had 2 matches. On OkCupid, I had 44 likes, 2 matches, 2 conversations, and 1 ask. Now, the reason why the likes are skewed so much is because I accidentally had the settings set to the world, which you might have noticed in the beginning. I got likes from literally every single country, it felt like, except for Japan. Yeah, that was disappointing. So on Dine, I had 4 likes and I had 1 reservation. The 1 reservation, we had agreed to go to a restaurant, and then she revoked the reservation after we had set the plan, and then deleted her account. And then Pairs, I had 8 likes, I had 6 matches, I had 4 conversations, I asked 3 people, and I had 1 date. You know, the date, it was okay. She was a nice person. We just didn't really vibe very well in the date, unfortunately, so we went our separate ways after, but you know, at least I got a date out of that. Also, I should mention, in hindsight, my profile was probably not the best. On Japanese dating, especially on the Japanese dating apps, you can only use pictures of yourself. You can't have any other people in the pictures, which is a little bit frustrating because I don't take a lot of pictures by myself. So my overall thoughts, take this with a grain of salt, but the best dating app that I used among the 8 that I tried this month was Pairs. It wasn't even close. I felt like I had some decent conversations on Pairs. Now this is a problem because there are a lot of people maybe who just got here to Japan, or they don't intend on staying in Japan very long, so they don't speak Japanese. And to those people, I honestly don't know what to really recommend because, you know, a lot of people said Bumble would be great, but Bumble for me was dog shit. It sucked. So yeah, I don't know. Which brings me to the following question. Would I actually recommend any of these dating apps to people? Honestly, no. I spent literally so much time creating all these profiles, spending tons of money, but you know, the overwhelming majority of conversations were like receiving 2-word responses from people and then being ghosted in the end. Honestly, it was not a great experience. Another reason being, and I'm speaking from the guy's perspective, obviously, but if you've used dating apps in the past, you probably already understand this. Girls get way more attention on dating apps than guys ever will and ever do. Like, if you look at the Japanese apps, you can actually see how many likes people receive. So if you go on, for example, With, and you see a girl with 1,000 likes, there is not a chance they're gonna look at your page. I mean, they're overwhelmed with 1,000 people. Why would they pay attention to you? So what can you do? I feel like in recent years, particularly young men have been jaded by online dating. I mean, if you're not tall and attractive, or I guess on Japanese apps, if you don't make money, I mean, there's no chance for you. I mean, it's just so hard to compete. At least in Western culture, people have turned to the red pill or black pill community. But yeah, I don't think those those communities in the long run are really gonna make you happy. But I think a lot of people in general are going through a lot of similar things. You know, I think they're just trying to turn to a place to find guidance or understanding for why these things occur. Why is it so hard nowadays? Like, did people back then in the 80s, like, did they really think about all of this? I don't know. Like, usually they just went outside and talked to people. But on dating apps, it's like, if you don't have a solid profile, if you don't do this, it's gonna be really hard. You can also try improving your profile. While my experience sucked, I do know personally people who are getting married because of dating apps. It does work for some people. You know, data is showing that online dating, particularly in Japan as well, is increasing. It's becoming more common nowadays. You know, it is becoming more difficult to meet and maybe approach people and social places such as work that may have been more common in the past. As for me, I think I am done with dating apps, and it's time for me to just work on improving myself and hopefully meeting someone through communities that I join maybe, or mutual friends. Hopefully, you know, easier said than done, to be honest. You know, honestly, I'm a little bit bummed that this didn't work out because, you know, while this was an experiment, I was really hoping that this could potentially lead to something, but, you know, it is what it is at this point. Being alone sucks, and I feel like I've been alone for a long time. But I guess I just have to learn how to be alone without feeling the pain of loneliness. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you took away something. I don't know.